What's up guys, SK Nova here, making a video. Today is patch 1.13. I did a little patch 1.3 review of mostly Battle Pass, Unkillable still around. I had to upgrade my Polarium launcher, that's why it took me a little bit longer, but now better graphics. I thought I'd do a little review today on the hero changes, some of the good and bad of all the heroes that were changed in this patch. So I'm lucky enough to have all of them. We'll start with Anger. I actually took some time and started gearing him up a little bit. Anger's big change was that he used to be scaled based off attack and HP. And his stats haven't really changed much. You can notice that his attack is really low. So for the longest time, he was and his skill set was kind of weird. Like he put provoke on people, but he wasn't a very super defensive hero. He didn't do a lot of damage. He really had no purpose. It was really awkward to use. He had to provoke heroes that would attack him, and then he put more provoke on them. So his skills just didn't really work well together. It didn't really like jive. So he still has this passive that if an enemy with provoke attacks him, he's going to place provoke again on them, which is good to continually keep provoking somebody. The problem with that is he would take a lot of damage, and he wasn't super defensive. He had to build him with attack, so he would eventually die. So what they kind of added to him was his A2 here, gave him a counterattack ability, so that if they attack him, he can now attack them back, which makes provoking them even better. So now that synergizes a little bit better. But the other main thing is that they actually scale him based off HP. So now he can actually hit decently hard. So now he has a purpose. Now he's actually reasonably usable, I would say. I wouldn't necessarily say he's top tier, but I will give you an example of what he can do. So I've already got him masteried up. Decent gear. I mean, I could raise his crit rate a bit. You could probably run him in lifesteal gear because when he places the provoke, he will get it back. And you also probably want higher accuracy if you're going to use him in arena or anything like that. So I'm not showing the provoke version of what he can do. I just want to kind of show the damage. Let's go back to him. So I'd say his stats aren't terrible. Pure damage, I would try to get 100% crit, and I try to get 250%-ish crit damage, but I also pumped a ton of stuff, with all the immortal gear into his health. So first up, Anger, we'll stick him into Minotaur 15. It's kind of like an okay amount. The bosses don't have a ton of, or this boss doesn't seem to have a ton of defense, so you don't need a lot of skills for that. And who would I normally use here? Who would help Anger out? Let's put in. Let's stick Venus in there. So then we're guaranteed to have decreased defense, so he'll most likely have big hits. Let's see how. I don't know. You could use a lot of options for this. Minotaur 15 isn't overly challenging. I just want to get an idea of how much damage his A2 does, and how much damage his how much damage his A2 does, how much damage his A1 does against mostly the Minotaur boss. Oh, there you go. So 13k, he's not hitting as hard as my big gun is. He has no skill book, so his skills damage scaling isn't all the way up. But he's doing 10k hit, which is pretty reasonable. I think if you had a bit higher crit damage, and I think you could get his HP even higher, he did pretty good. So you can see there, he's not hitting as hard as my Ray or my Big Gun. He's also not quite as geared, and all the other characters here are booked. But I'd say he's kind of holding his own. Like he's not. Let's try one more time. He's not unreasonably low damage anymore. I think he's in line. So I think if you fully skilled him and put the same level of gear as my other characters have on, he'd be pretty decent. Prior to this, I'd say he would probably do these 4,000 hits rather than 10,000 hits. Like because he was scaling off attack and HP, his overall damage just seemed to be way lower. It's too bad I didn't make some videos on how that was, but I'd say for how he is now, he's actually pretty useful. The reason I kind of used him was I knew the buff was coming, so I predictably did that. I tried him out in Faction Wars, and before this, he was pretty much useless. I haven't actually checked Faction Wars today to see if we happen to have Orc up. I don't recall us doing or having that, but he's finished anyway, so let's go check. And we can try him out there too if work is in 2 days. So Ogren and Sacred Order today, I'll have to do that a little bit later. That would be a different video. So there's Anger. I think he has much improved. Definitely usable now, not necessarily top tier, but he's bumped up from, the worst Void epic in the game that you can get to. Who's a worse Void epic than him now? That would be a good question. He's still not fantastic, but he's better than the bottom tier non-Void legendaries, we'll say. I think he's probably middle of the pack, bottom to middle of the pack. He doesn't provide a ton of team utility, but he provides some CC. With a lifesteal set and the counterattack, he could be very, very useful if he gets his provokes landing. So for that reason, he's good. Good, but not great. We'll put it that way. Next champion up here, we'll talk about Foley. Foley's big change was his A2, no, A3. Yeah, his A3 used to require the enemy to have 2 debuffs on them, so that when he attacked and damaged them, and they died, they would then not revive. Now they've changed it so that he no longer requires that debuff portion of it, making him a little bit better. I think they also gave him some extra speed, some base stat speed, so he's much faster now. So that's also really good. So let's try him out. This is now unscripted, and let's try him on Ice Golem, where you really want him to do damage is on who would ever place here. And we'll stick in Foley. Foley, there you are. Foley. Now his gear isn't fantastic. I didn't change him up too much because really all it changes is one skill. But for Ice Golem 20, he's a potential good candidate to throw in there for your speedy 20. He's the right affinity for it. And if you can actually kill one of the Ice Golem ads here, then they don't revive, which makes your run so much easier. It's just too bad that on auto it's going to be very difficult to plan that to occur. So you have a chance of it not working out. But hey, whatever. If you don't have a huge selection of heroes, you're not looking for maximum time, or you're using him to help progress a little bit, he's definitely a good choice to have. Still does decent damage. He's good for that. You don't necessarily need to have super top tier team to do this. I mean, people have done it with all rares and all epics. There's lots of options out there. Really, what you want them to do is make your team fairly tanky so that they can survive. Arbiter is fantastic for this because of revive. Bad L, fantastic for this because of the highest healing throughput in the game. Dracomorph is bonkers on this. Like, oh man, Dracomorph works. The best thing that happens is that this is on auto. If Dracomorph actually hits them with that ability. So his A1, if he hits the almost dead one, and it procs off and hits the Ice Golem boss there, it can almost not quite one shot him, but do like 2/3 to 3/4 of his health in one shot. It is awesome. So what I might do is try to take it off auto if I can try to time. Oh, never mind. Might even lose this one. So the reason I use Krisk for this is for this kind of case where you have some shields up and you have some extra healing to prevent that from happening. Luckily, we pulled through there. There's a big hit. Oh. There's an example of Dracomorph doing his awesome thing and almost taking out the Ice Golem in one shot. So I don't know if we'll be able to see this. Probably just end up killing the Ice Golem boss here. Oh yeah, take that. You are not going to revive Ice Golem bot. Yeah. That's not bad for 2 as blue, but Reflex Gear with some speed on it. Meh. Okay. We won't go over too much in Foley. I don't really see him as a replacement for Inithwi in Platinum Arena, which is where the revive skill really comes in handy because everybody runs Duchess or Arbiter, revive heroes. Molly, not so much because of Tormund, but the revive from Inithwi is just so much better. Don't know who Inithwi is. He's this dude here. He has the same kind of thing where enemies killed cannot be revived on any of his abilities. So decent high damage character and has the ability to block revive, which destroys the teams that kind of rely on Duchess to go and revive them. So that's a deadly combo. Foley probably is not that. So not expected, but he could. It does do decent damage, so it's possible to bring him along. I think he's not super squishy, but we'll see. I could be wrong. The meta could be different, and he could work. But being magic, not really as good as Inithwi. No one will take him over Blood Twin, Inithwi Blood Twin, but they you could still use him on your arena team fairly easily. So good little slight bump in Foley's status as a legendary, but still not quite top tier, but improved. We'll put it that way. We should after Foley. After Foley, we'll do Cythalia. Now, I had very high hopes for Cythalia when they announced that she was going to be reworked. I was hoping she would be closer to what Raglan was after she got buffed. And she got bumped up, but maybe because she's not a Void Legendary, they wanted to keep her a little bit not quite as good. So I geared her up and got her working here. Her big things now is the ability to remove buffs from enemy and remove debuffs from allies. And we were hoping that the block damage, and we knew that the debuff removal wasn't going to be on everybody, but we're hoping that the block debuffs would be on the second part of this ability, where it would heal everybody and block debuffs on everybody. And that would be absolutely amazing. And she would have gone from bottom legendary status to near the top, especially for arena. Because block debuffs is such a strong ability, and having it on all your allies is fantastic in conjunction with turn meter. So you can, it's kind of like basically what Duchess does. Puts up block and then heal or turn meter increase or whatever. It doesn't matter at that point because now you can really buff your heroes because you're not worried about getting frozen by Torment. I wouldn't say she's absolutely fantastic, but I'd say she's better. Let's throw into... I guess we'll put her in Mentor, but she's not really going to do anything there. Is there a dungeon that I would take damage at? Oh yeah, Fire Knight. Here we go. Sure. We'll use her for Fire Knight 20, where she's the wrong affinity. And we've replaced Seer. So let's make the run a little bit slower, but hopefully highlight her, what she can do. Let's see how this goes. It won't block the reducing your health factor. Now my Fire Knight team is still, I wouldn't say perfect for it. Seer needed some better gear to be able to like one-shot a lot of the mob packs here. Kutraxa is fantastic for Fire Knight, but the key to all of this is Allure. If you guys haven't seen videos on how good Allure is, hopefully it doesn't die here. But she'll get revived anyways, even if she does. But she can essentially keep the Fire Knight himself from ever getting a turn. So once you get her attacking, she does still have weak hits. The weak hits don't proc her turn meter decrease. But what changed with her is they changed how her AI worked and made her use her A1 over her other abilities on Fire Knight. So she would just constantly spam her A1 over and over and over again, which is great for auto and allowed you to keep the Fire Knight basically in check so he never gets an attack off once you kind of get that thing rolling. And it makes the run much faster. The slowest part is Fire Knight putting up a shield and getting the heal, and you continuously have to, like, you know, break his heal and take off a little bit of damage that he healed back up from, and then start the process over and over again. So without that occurring, the runs probably go from, you know, half the time, 4 minutes to 2 minutes, or, you know, a third of the time on that boss. What you waste. These packs, though, the hardest maybe part of the stage is the first part, you really want the AoE damage to get through these packs. The second part, you want all the high hit single target damage. And so you kind of need a good mixture of both, and you have to figure out which characters you can use to get that. And on top of that is Force Affinity. That's not too good. So you can see turn meter already went down a bunch. You kind of get up to half or 2/3. Allure go, oh, that only got like 1 out of 3 hits there. Arbiter is a great combination with this because she will buff everyone's turn meter. Lysandra probably also works, giving Allure another chance. There we go. So now you took off 2/3 or 3/4 of the turn meter bar, and you just keep going. Cythalia really doesn't add much to this team. She's not the normal top choice for this, but I just want to show, let's see the buffs that she has and what she brings, or let's see what she does. Oh yeah, HP burn, which won't do anything other than take a debuff slot because Fire Knight won't go again. I don't know. She healed people after they took damage. She kept Allure alive before. Good job, Cythalia. You are no longer purely just a vault person. You have the ability to heal people in an overpowered team as well. Will Cythalia be used in arena? Possible. But I don't think she's going to be as good. Like, Duchess has the block buffs, the heal, the revive, just overall so much better. Cythalia is probably still a really good healer. If you get her, she's going to be very useful early on to help you progress through dungeons. Not a bad hero right now, and she's kind of gone from bottom to maybe bumped up. I can't think of all the legendaries that would be below her still, but she's better than before. So she's not out of the ballpark anymore. Her legendary status is still good. She did pump out 300k with her healing, so her healing prowess is pretty good. You just have to figure out where that's going to be best used. Now the last hero, actually not the last hero, second last hero, Shamrock. I actually like Shamrock. I think his changes have made him very usable. I try to figure out what's the best conjunction for him, so let's go to his skills first before I run this thing. Woven Tribes, Shamrock, skills. So I think the big difference is the way that they reworked his A2 here. Before it, I can't remember the exact text, but it had a chance to place one buff, and if that buff landed, had a chance to place another buff, and if that buff landed, another buff, and it just got to be such a small amount to try to get whatever the last buff was, Revive on Death, that it was almost negligible and not really possible for it to happen very often, so you couldn't really rely on it. But now, you're guaranteed to get increased defense, which is great, increased speed or increased crit rate on most of the heroes, depending on them meeting these requirements, and you also have a chance of placing Revive on Death, and then pretty good chance, which goes up to 70%, to place Continuous Heal. So it's a good chance you actually get all of these buffs, or most of these buffs, 4 buffs, 5 buffs on a character. And who is the best person to pair with someone that you get a lot of buffs is Tourvolt. So for those who don't know, Tourvolt, the Barbarian, has an ability which increases according to the number of buffs on this champion. So I thought, hey, why don't we pair these two up? I just happen to have a Tourvolt and a Shamrock. That seems like the magical combination that should be great. Caveat, my Tourvolt, I was actually kind of semi-gearing him up for Nightmare or even Brutal Clan Boss way back in the day. I haven't really touched him too much since. So he doesn't have the absolute best ability, or best gear. So what we can do is swap out his defense gear. This is an easy change. I don't even have any. He doesn't really need the lifesteal for what we're about to do. If only there was a way that I could filter through the items, I could find a better attack chest piece for him and throw that on instead. Let's see, you attack, let's go with this one. No, this one. Sure. I mean, I don't know if it's the best choice. We got speed, crit damage. His crit is not too bad. I wish he had a bit more crit. I don't know where I'm going to get that from at this time. That's better, but I lose the speed, which I still want. That has good speed. Has more crit damage. Whatever, we'll run with this. It's not the fastest out there, so it would be nice to have a little bit more speed, a little bit more damage. He is a slower hero. I got crit damage there, accuracy, sure. We're only running Minotaur, so it's not going to be the end of the world. I'll throw some things on there. See how this goes. This will be the amazing Shamrock and Tourvolt combo. I actually did try this out beforehand. I wouldn't say it was the most amazing thing ever, but I think this combination could work. I don't have Shamrock booked. You know, it might be a fun thing to do if I had some extra books kicking around. I may actually consider it. If there were other options, or if I was going to use Tourvolt in a different purpose, like I don't really foresee myself taking Tourvolt into the arena at this time. It's kind of more like it's almost a meme build, we can call it, where Shamrock buffs, you get 6 or 7 buffs on Tourvolt and he one-shots somebody. Tourvolt already does pretty decent damage. With 3 or 4 buffs, he's probably hitting for 40, 50k or 60, 70k. I've seen cases of getting up to 200 and 250k on Clan Boss with really, really high gear and 7 or 8 buffs. So the number of buffs really starts scaling kind of exponentially in terms of how much damage he does. But I think this is a good combo. You can also add counterattack is a big one, revive on death, unkillable, block damage. I mean, just a whole bunch of buffs you can add. If you can get 8 or 9 buffs on Tourvolt, he's going to one-shot someone 3 times over. I don't think that's too bad. I mean, the speed of it is still under a minute. Running this, probably the slowest part is just these initial waves. having another high AoE damage dealer instead of these two would probably speed that part up. And I usually use Zavia or Elenarl just for the poison explosion. Um, so there's ways of definitely making this run faster, but these two guys in combination kind of do their job. And if you're lucky enough to have both of them, that's kind of a cool combo. I also don't have Tourvolt booked, so that would increase his damage pretty significantly. But let's see. Oh, it's too bad I can't get the buffs on Tourvolt before he uses his Juggernaut ability there. But I think we saw that last round. 70 to 90k with like mediocre gear on him. Mediocre to good. There's two normal attacks for 90k damage. He's doing more damage than Big Gun does, single target. So that's pretty cool. So I mean, it has potential. There's a good combo. Shamrock will have lots of uses in other places too because he has good turn meter manipulation. I could definitely see him being used in faction wars now. Going from bottom tier to really good at certain things. Good at the turn meter manipulation. Good at, he has this ability here, speed reduction, decreases turn meter, and fills turn meter of allies if any of your enemies are below 50%. Right, so you get that speed increase. Buff steal is absolutely awesome for a lot of the faction wars, where they're getting unkillable, counterattack, block damage, etc. So stealing the buffs is very good. You get a decently high chance to do it. To get a 60% or 75% chance times 2 chances. It's pretty good. And this ability where you can really like load up on buffs on your own team, good choice. So I think they did a good job with Shamrock. Shamrock is probably the one that they improved the best. And he's still kind of a niche build. He's not going to be super high damage or anything like that, but he's very usable now. I like it. Good job, Plarium, on that one. The last one that we will try out, I do have Yannicka. I just never got her to level 60. So the changes to Yannicka, mostly around her Perfect Veil and doing damage coming out of Perfect Veil. And this shield buff removal. So she ignores shield buffs and she removes shields from the target. I think I do have to ascend her though, so it's just Perfect Veil. Let's just do that quick. Ascend. Ooh. Completing missions. Ascend. Yeah. And ascend. Awesome. So now her skill gets extra stuff. Sure. So remove shield buffs. The perfect place to kind of try that out would probably be on a boss with shields. Just so happens that opens this Saturday. Who else uses a lot of shields? I don't think the Spirit Keep boss has shields, do they? I don't know, but we'll try her out here. Because why not? Good old Yannicka. Happy Yannicka. Sorry for this. But she is... Where'd she go? That she would be... Oh, there she is. Hiding down here with the good old rares at level 50 because she only has 3 stars. Cool. Go Yannicka. Now hopefully everyone else on this team doesn't just kill everything before she gets a chance to do anything. This is also unplay tested. I should probably choose a weaker team because she's not going to be able to do anything cool. I'm still using Fushan for this team. That's kind of funny. It's been a long time since I've done the Spirit Keep. Once I farmed it a lot, then... Oh, there we go. Yeah. Extra turn, and she veiled herself. There. Let's take this team down a notch. That's probably a little too much for these guys to handle. Let's do it. Yeah. Oh, that's only faction crypts. Yeah, some accuracy to Tourvolt, an anger, and a Foley. Actually, Tourvolt, you haven't been increased, so we're gonna get Sethalia in there. Look at this. This is a team. This is the dream team. Team upgraded right here. That's what we'll call them. All right, let's see how team upgraded does against poor little spirit boss and her team of spirit minions. Oh yeah, like that. Look at all that reflect damage from Angar. Oh yeah. This team does not stand a chance. Team upgrade. Placing defense down. Taking out your Hyrias. And who's that person? Not Delver. Luria? Is that Luria? Luria's actually a pretty good character with all of her freeze. Oh, the super provoke. Now you're going to be attacking Anger. And he's going to be counterattacking you. And Yannicka is going to be poking you with a stick. And then turning invisible so you can't poke her back. Go Angar. Oh yeah, keep that turn meter down. Spirit boss is not going to be healing. Uh-oh. Foley almost got that guy. Can't revive him, even though you have no revivability. Oh yeah. No decreased defense though. Sicia comes in with the HP burn. 6,000. Oh, yeah. Oh. Will these guys have the damage to be able to take out this boss? This is a good question. Very, very intense. Baffling speed. Extra turn. Smashing you with the veil. Turn meter boost. Turn meter boost. An attack. Got decreased defense. Did heal. Oh man. These guys need some better gear. Come on, Anger. Get more angry. Shamrock. Foley. Going to defense. You almost got it. Don't let her heal. Don't let her heal. Yes. Yes. Stelia for the win. 17k. Where did that come from? Wow. I take that back. Stelia is OP now. 17k for the win on the Spirit Keep. Clearing under 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Team upgrade. There you have it. They have been upgraded. Are any of them now top tier? No, I don't think so. Are they all better now? Yes. Are they usable? Yes. Do they have legendary status? Yes. There's going to be niche places. Of these upgrades, Shamrock is the best. I did show Torment in this ability, who just basically got a nerf, but probably put him more in line with how that ability should work. You'll see him change a little bit in Arena, but I don't think he's lost his place as top tier, the #1 character to have on your Arena team going into Platinum and or Gold 4, wherever you happen to be. Hope you guys liked that video. That was kind of a cool last fight. These are the team upgrade heroes, the 5 that got upgraded. Just too bad they didn't get bumped up as much as Dracomorph and Raglan did when they got their turn, but hey, better than nothing, and I think they're decently usable in certain cases right now, so good on that. Hope you liked the video. Till the next one.